young world. You already know. It's your host, Vault Boy Vade. We back with another episode of Vault Talk and Breakin Newz. And episode 55, by the way, too. Congratulations to us. Please like, share, and subscribe. And we're gonna get right into it. Woman killed, man critical after being shot inside cars in 2 Philadelphia shootings. A woman and a man is in critical condition following 2 Philadelphia shootings in which the gunmen fired into vehicles. The fatal shooting occurred just before 6 p.m. Friday on the 8800 block of Frankfort Avenue in the city's Torresdale section. Police say a 24-year-old woman was shot multiple times while sitting in a vehicle. The victim was taken to Jefferson Torresdale Hospital, where she was pronounced dead in a short time later. Her identity has not been released yet. Hours later, a 24-year-old man was shot while sitting in a car in Philadelphia's Kensington section. Police were called to the 3200 block of Emerald Street just after 10 p.m. Investigators say the man was sitting in a black Mercedes-Benz when someone fired a shot through the car. The victim was struck once in the head. He was taken to the hospital in extremely critical condition. There has not been no arrest in either shootings. And we're gonna take a look at the news clip, and we'll be right back with more Vault Talk. It's your host, Vault Boy Vade. Please, if you'd like to donate Cash App to my please send a donation to my Cash App, Vault Boy Vade. You'll also see the black and white VB logo. And we'll be right back. Let's take a look at these news clips.
Story on Action News tonight is the aftermath of a horrific day of violence yesterday in Philadelphia. 9 people shot, 3 people killed, 96 homicides already in 2021. Action News reporter Annie McCormick is live at police headquarters. Annie, the commissioner met with the media late today. What did she have to say?
Well, Jim, the commissioner saying tonight immediately they are putting more officers in uniform in those neighborhoods where they're seeing the increase of violence. But she's also calling on parents and people in the community saying you should know what your children are doing on social media. And Jim, in so many of these cases, like in the case you're about to hear from, a family you're about to hear from, these teenagers killed are just innocent victims.
Kyrie was loved. He didn't deserve this. He did nothing. He just left the house and just went to go play basketball with his friends.
The family of 16-year-old Kyrie Simmons reeling over his death. Simmons, a boys Latin sophomore, was killed while playing basketball at a West Philadelphia rec center in a triple shooting Thursday evening. His teen friends survived. 4 men exited an SUV and opened fire, then took off.
He wasn't involved in anything. Like I said, we kept him out of trouble. We would take him places. We treated him like the king he is.
In the span of 8 hours Thursday, there were 9 shooting victims at 3 separate scenes. In Overbrook Park, this surveillance video shows a quadruple shooting. A 24-year-old and a 17-year-old, later identified as Tamir Brown, died. There was a double shooting in Point Breeze after 11 last night in the 1900 block of Tasker. Last night's violence happened while a vigil for Antonio Walker Jr. took place. The 15-year-old, a track star not involved in street life, was shot to death on Tuesday. City and state federal leaders today talking about an immediate response to the violence, and additionally, the commissioner making an open plea.
Please come together with us, work with us so we can be proactive with our youth. These social media beefs, these arguments, people on the ground know who's arguing with one another. Please share this information with us.
And Jim, as with every homicide in the city of Philadelphia, there is always a $20,000 reward for information that leads to an arrest and a conviction. That is something that they want the public to remember. $20,000 for information. Just call 215-686-TIPS. Reporting live outside of police headquarters, Annie McCormick, Channel 6.
Okay, as you can see, it's becoming very violent all over Philadelphia. It really don't, to me, it really don't matter where you live at. It's the mentality of the teenagers, and a lot of them, they lost, you know. They caught up in the social media stuff and all types of sorts like that. And sometimes, y'all, give me a second, y'all, because I'm looking for something also. I apologize, but can you imagine growing up in a society today where everything you do, people pull out phones? That's crazy. Because I know if somebody jumped me and y'all think y'all was just going, and y'all thought y'all was just gonna, upload this and they get 1 million views. Oh yeah, it's definitely gonna hit the fan. You better believe it. It's definitely gonna hit the fan. Another thing going on out here, and y'all gotta pay attention, because these are our children. I have children. The government, no. The government is out here giving these kids money, knowing these kids ain't going to school. You giving them money. They sit at home on social media all day with nothing to do but beef or get in the BS, right? Now, on top of that, they got money to go get guns now. Why do you think the shootings done shot up everywhere? Because the teenagers ain't got to ask their mom for no money. Like, not like that, to buy that type of stuff. They got enough now. Some of these kids out here is getting up to $2,000 a month. They ain't doing nothing for it. I could see if the government at least was like, if y'all doing well in virtual school and good attendance, then you'll get the money. But just to give it to them, it's a setup. It's a setup. It's a purge right in front of your eyes. Why you think every time I read y'all the transcripts, what it say at the end? No suspects has been identified or caught. All the time. And the new generation, the younger generation, oh my God, they so disrespectful. They are so disrespectful. Me personally, I don't tolerate it. I don't tolerate it with them. Play no games with them at all. And I advise y'all to do the same. Don't play no games with them. Let's get into this next story. 2 teens killed. Mayor says Philly's losing entire generation to gun violence. In the span of about 8 hours Thursday, there were 9 shooting victims at 3 separate scenes in the city of Philadelphia. 2 teenagers was killed. In a response to the violence, Mayor Jim Kennedy announced late Thursday night his administration will start holding public briefings next week to share strategies underway to address this public health crisis and create safety, healthy communities. Gun range out of in the parking lot of an apartment complex on the 1400 block of 76th Street and around 3 p.m. Thursday in the cities of Overbrook neighborhood. The shootings claimed the lives of a 24-year-old man and a 16-year-old young boy. Police said a 30-year-old man and a 19-year-old man were also shot. Both were hospitalized in extremely critical condition. Oh, man. And right here is a tweet. Excuse me. Right here is a tweet of Christy, I don't know, Leto. I got hit. The sound of the gunfire. Caught on residence camera. Seconds later, you hear one of the victims of the quadruple shooting say they got hit. One of the bullets struck Valerie's own home. I heard a lot of shots, said Owen. She said the bullet pierced her grandma's 3rd floor bedroom window. Oh my God. Thank God the old lady didn't get hit, or the lady, I don't mean to call you old, miss, but thank God the woman didn't get hit, or anyone. That bullet came in and went through and hit the door. So if it was still there, he would have gotten shot, Owen said. Damn. Police Commissioner Danielle Outlaw said residents likely saw the gunman. Given the number of people shot at one time, it's not only puzzling, but it leads us to believe that there are more people out here that know about what happened, said Outlaw. The second shooting occurred around 7:36 p.m. when police said someone opened fire at a recreation center on the 5500 block of Christian Street. Police said 4 males exited a small SUV and begun shooting, struck 3 teenagers playing basketball on the court near a school. And I think that was the one where the 15-year-old track star guy lost his life. A 16-year-old boy was killed after being shot in the back of the neck. He has been identified as Kai Sims. Yes, I think that's him. The family, speaking outside their West Philadelphia home, urged whoever has information to take advantage of the $20,000 reward offer for the information leading up to the arrest and conviction. Kahid was loved. He did not deserve this. Yeah, this is what his uncle said. We're going to take a look at that video in a short minute. City, state, and federal leaders held a press conference Friday afternoon at the recreation center where Simmons passed away. Commissioner Danielle Outlaw said they were immediately adding more boots on the ground and officers in uniforms to the areas that have seen increased violence as of lately. Additionally, she said the community needs to put together a hold the youth accountable. I'm asking the community, please come together with us to work together with us so we can proactive with our youth. We know where the guns are. A lot of these people know what's happening with these guns before we do, said Outlaw. Social media beefs and arguments, people on the ground know who's arguing with one another. Please share this info with us. 2 other 15-year-olds suffered graze wounds in the shootings. Both teens are expected to survive. Police said it's not clear if the 16-year-old boy was the intended target. My daughter is 6, said nearby resident Ed Carl. You don't want your child out here in this type of environment. Kimberly Suley, who lives nearby, told Action News her son was shot 3 years ago. He didn't pass away. We can no longer blame the police system and any other systems. We have to really get this together, Suley said. The third shooting happened around 11:20 p.m. in Point Breeze. Police say a fight broke out in a group of people on the 1900 block of Tasker Street. Someone opened fire, and a man who was legally possessing a gun shot back. After the crowd dispersed, someone shot through the front window of a home, hitting a 37-year-old woman, police said. God damn. An 18-year-old man was found outside on Dickerson Street with gunshot wounds. Both victims were stable. Police are looking for 4 males in this case. Minute before the third shooting, I mean, this shit just go on and on. Jesus. Minutes before the third shooting of the day, Mayor Kennedy released a statement on Thursday, violence referencing the 2 incidents. I mean, listen, man, I could go on and on. I could go on and on. Everywhere. Philly, Delaware, Chicago, New York, Cali, Atlanta, Baltimore, Jersey. It don't matter. It's all over. It's worse than the coronavirus. Y'all worrying about COVID-19. You better be worrying about this virus that's spreading with these kids. They purging. They killing any and anybody, and they don't care. And they right, can't blame nobody, man. What are we gonna do? Parents ready to take the kids to war? If they don't listen, I don't know. I mean, let me know what's going to go on, because some of these kids will fight back. I seen it. And if you beat these kids up, they're going to get their gun and shoot you. Now you got to ask yourself this question: can you see yourself killing a 13-year-old, 14-year-old? They trying to kill you? You want to ask me that question? I send him to the Lord. I'll send anybody to the Lord that I feel like that's in a right state of mind and ain't no right from wrong. Trust me. I'm an 80s baby, y'all. I knew at a very young age when I was doing a lot of wrong stuff. Okay? These kids today, 10 times smarter. They know. These kids, 2 and 3 years old, operating phone and technology, my man. They know what's going on. Let's go take a look at some of these clips with the sergeant and Danielle Outlaw. Let's see what they got to say, and we'll be back for more Vault Talk right after these messages.
Yeah, a little bit after 3 o'clock this afternoon, we received calls about shots fired or people that had been shot here behind the building in the 1400 block of North 76th Street. And upon our arrival, we did not find anybody, but we quickly learned that 4 victims had been transported to Lankino Hospital. 1 person has already been pronounced. There are 3 others, one that we know of that is currently going into CAT scan, and there are 2 others that are in critical condition. It's not a lot of information that we have at this time. We are doing everything that we can to get interviews from witnesses that may have seen it, to gather any video evidence or gather any witness statements that we can. But, you know, obviously, given that this happened in the broad daylight, is quite alarming. And just given the number of people shot at one time, just it's not only puzzling, but it leads us to believe that there are more people out here that know about what happened, and we're asking for them to come forward.
Did you mention the conditions of the other three?
Yeah, so there's one person that was pronounced. There are two people that were listed in critical condition, and there's one person that's currently in CAT scan, so we don't know their medical condition at this time.
Is it worrying too? I mean, you said because we're so early in the day, I'm going to ask you to give an obvious question. I mean, the weather's getting warm. It's almost like we know what that means.
Yeah, we do know what it means when the weather gets warm. You know, I thought that, you know, with the winter or with the weather getting cooler, that it would slow things down, and quite frankly, it didn't. But over the last couple of days, as we saw the weather begin to get warmer, we're starting to see the activity pick up a bit more. There are more people outside, you know, soaking in the sun, and we're seeing a lot of our shootings begin to increase as well. So again, you know, once these areas are brought to our attention, we go where the data takes us. We increase our presence, and we do everything that we can to work with our community partners in the neighborhood to prevent the next shooting from happening. Thank you. So given that we haven't had the opportunity to speak with them yet because they're in surgery, we haven't been able to positively identify them and to confirm their ages. I do believe, though, that the ages range from 16 to 30, but I don't know.
Alright, as you can see, what Danielle and the mayor had to say about the violence going on in the city of Philadelphia. Like I said before, please send any news, info, ideals to vaulttalk1@gmail.com. Let's get something going together. Let's help each other. Let's help our children. It's your host, Vault Boy Vague. That's all I got right now for episode 55. It's your host, and we'll be back with more news and podcast Vault Talk. It's your boy, Young Vague.
Tangless version today.